everybody. Welcome in live to the Gridiron in Center, Alabama. We have a very special player of the week this week, Mr. Slade Alexander of the Cherokee County Warriors. And this is the Buddy and Nienna Ford Farmers Insurance Player of the Week, brought to you by Countertop Creations in Gadsden. Slade, I'm going to start back, rewind the clock. The last 2 weeks, man, you've had 12 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. Something's clicked and changed, and you've elevated your game. Can you talk about that performance you've had the last 2 weeks?
I haven't really changed anything. We really put things together like on both sides of the ball. So I think what I did coming out to like week 1, making it bigger than what it was, and Coach really talked to us about just going out there and playing football. So that's what we've been doing.
This last week you had 121 yards rushing with 3 TDs. You also had you went 5 for 7 passing for 65 yards and a touchdown. But what I like most is you also got a pick 6, so you're doing it in all phases of the game. Talk about your performance this last week.
Well, it's a big win for Cherokee County. Coach telling us before the game that it was a game that we're going. It doesn't dictate the rest of the season, but we took it as Anniston has never really respected us, so we needed to win the first region game, and it was big time coming up for the win at Anniston.
Oh, 100%. And you guys dropped a tough game earlier this year to Piedmont, but I know you and most competitors, when you lose, you don't never lose, you just learn. Mm-hmm. What did you learn from that loss, and how have you implemented that moving forward into this season?
That game was definitely, it woke us up, it humbled us to where, honestly, we came back to practice Monday, and it was a new day. Like we weren't gonna let that define the season throughout. So we came to work, and we wanted to get that taste out of our mouth. So we went and we focused Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and came out on Friday, and we got the job done. So
on a previous video that we had you on before, you talked about the importance of and what it meant to be a Cherokee County Warrior, and so many greats before you, and how it's kind of in your blood. Can you tell everybody here what that means to be a Cherokee County Warrior?
It's the greatest feeling ever, really. I mean, just look at it. I mean, you got a lot of support, and it's just something special at Cherokee County. It's always been that way for me.
Absolutely. Another thing I've noticed about you and the time I've known you, man, you lead by example, on and off the field, court, whatever it is, so many sports you play. And when you do that, man, you know, it seems to take your teammates to another level as well. Can you talk about that role that you play on the team by leading an example, you know, in life and in sports?
Yeah, well, that's a job you kind of got to pick up at. I mean, I picked it up at a young age, sophomore year coming in. I needed to show leadership, and I've always been a leader, but just like an example of Anniston, we came out, and first half wasn't that strong. We didn't come out and play like we should have, but just telling the guys that, I mean, you know, we can't quit now. We gotta work through it, and we're gonna win this game. So I mean, I try to lead by example and lead vocally too.
One thing I like about Average Joe's is we're our own editors, so we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. And one thing on your video we did with you with the one-on-one is you mentioned what God meant to you and what He's done for you in your life and how it's enhanced you. And we don't shy away from that at Average Joe's. We actually encourage it. So I want you to tell everybody here just watching now, and then we'll watch this video, an example of that and what God really has done for you in your life and how He's helped you along the way.
He's brought me through some of the worst and the good times, so I always put Him number one. I mean, without Him, I wouldn't be right here where I'm at, so keep Him number one, and I just go with whatever, you know, He wants me to do.
100%. You also talked about, before when we talked, you know, what it meant for you as a child or a young man, looking up to people like Cody Blanchard, Maurice Dupree, some of the legendary players here at Cherokee County. Well, you're that guy now. So what does that mean to you, that knowing that these kids, they watch every step you do, you know, when you're in school, when you're practice, when you're on the field? What does that mean for you to be in that role as those great players did?
I'm very blessed to be in that role. I like knowing that kids look up to what I do. You know, I mean, it may not be just on the field, but as far as walking down the hallways, I feel like I'm just an average person, but I do have a role to be a leader for, you know, the young guys and even the guys in my grade. So, I mean, being a leader is very important to me, being a good leader.
100%. Well, I'm going to kick it over to Reggie because this is always my favorite segment, so I get to watch. So,
all right, man. We got some questions. They're pretty fun. They're laid back, and so it's some would you rather's. All right. The first one: would you rather snow ski or rollerblade?
Snow ski, sure.
Snow ski. All right. This was pretty funny. Would you rather walk like a duck or swim like a fish?
Swim like a fish.
All right. Would you rather breathe like Darth Vader or talk like Yoda?
Talk like Yoda.
All right, I like it. Can you talk like Yoda?
No, I can't.
No. Okay.
Not even gonna try.
we found Slade's kryptonite.
Yep. All right. I think I already know the answer to this. Well, I don't know. Would you rather be super strong or super fast?
Super fast.
Super fast.
Definitely.
I mean, you're already pretty fast, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can always get faster. But.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Man.
One horse-sized duck.
One horse-sized duck.
Could y'all imagine that, though? Like, seriously? The video? What that would be golden.
All right. Would you rather sleep in a haunted house or a cemetery?
Haunted house.
Haunted house, all right.
I don't know about that one. That's tough.
That's tough.
Yeah.
You want to go to cemetery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Madden or 2K?
Well, I mean, they take a L. Pretty much every one of them. So.
Oh.
2K for sure. They can't hold me in 2K.
Oh,
especially Nas and Rambo, Colton,
You
Connor.
just called out the whole team, man.
Yeah, they can't hold me if I play with the Lakers. So.
All right. I got one more for you. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation. I'm not much of a gamer, but PlayStation.
PlayStation. All right. All right, man. I'm done.
Out of all these guys here, Slade, who is your class clown? Who keeps it fun in the locker room?
Man, we got a lot of those. Probably Rambo for sure, and Cortland and Bargy. Bargy's the goofball. That's him. He gonna be there today, Coach. Yeah, he's a goofball.
All right, Slade. Talk about Coach Kelly and what he's meant to you since he's been here and how he's kind of changed that culture. And we talked about him on the preview show yesterday with Damien, those guys, what he's done at this program in his time here.
He's still a small guy, but I'll talk good on him. He changed the culture for sure. It was the first day he got there. I can remember everybody automatically respected what he had. I mean, what he was about. So. As far as getting I've never seen a coach get a group of guys together and just the way he's really about it. He don't just talk about it. He's a leader, and we all follow everything he does. And honestly, I mean, I'm very grateful for Coach Kelly, for sure.
Absolutely. So moving forward this season, you got everything in front of you: region championship, still playoff, state title, anything and everything still in front of you. What do you plan on doing from a leadership role to achieve those goals in front of you?
Taking it day by day. We're not going to look to Jacksonville week 10 or, you know, when region champs. We're not. I mean, yes, those are all goals, of course. I mean, state championship, that's the big picture. But I mean, you got to do the process. You got to go day by day and, you know, keep winning.
What's something you could tell the underclassmen on your team that you necessarily found out yourself through living it, being a senior now? Some things like words of wisdom you could pass down to the underclassmen as they come up through their career.
I guess you say, I remember my 9th grade year just thinking that I really wasn't an asset to the team when really, you know, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So I tell the young guys that don't take anything for granted. Like whether it be in the weight room or just conditioning, I just tell them, you know, don't act like you're not a part of it. Like, you're just as important as I am, and to not take anything for granted, honestly.
All right, and when you leave Cherokee County, what do you want to most be remembered by or for?
That's a hard question. State champ, #1, but
I think everybody in this room agrees with that.
Yeah, definitely as just a Christian leader that means well, and I mean, I'm going to give it everything I got. That's what I want to be remembered as.
Well, Slade, before you get out of here, we got a couple of special gifts for you. We have our Farmers Insurance swag bag from Buddy and Nienna Ford's Farmers Insurance. We have our new black Average Joe's t-shirt. These are pretty rare. Only special players and special coaches get some of these.
Heck yeah,
So everybody, if you could, we also have our Countertop Creation Player of the Week, Granite Football, that has your information on the back, your touchdowns and stats and everything from this last week. So we got all that. Everybody, if you could, put your hands together for Mr. Slade Alexander, our Player of the Week.
Thank you.